This is The End of Time by Cellista, Freya Seeburger. This is a preview of the monologue that cellist Freya Seeburger will be sharing on February 5th at the Anno Domini Gallery in San Jose when she performs the Quartet from The End of Time. Prologue to The End of Time. The lights are dimmed to the light of candles close to the end of their wicks. 4 musicians enter the room in a line: a pianist, a violinist, a clarinetist, a cellist. All but the cellists sit. They place music on stands. They fold their hands. They lower their heads and their eyes are closed. The cellist remains standing. Her eyes are painted to a point of exaggeration. Her lips are rouged. She wears a crown-like hat woven into her hair. She is here tonight to tell a story.
San Jose, I invited you here tonight to bear witness to your past, present, and future. On January 15th, 1941, in Stalag 8A, a prisoner of war camp in Poland, in the frigid cold of winter, a miracle occurred. The quartet was germinated in this hell camp and performed in front of both inmate victims of the war and their captors. The terrors of war and the camp were transcended that night. 31-year-old Messiaen, a French medic in the army, arrived at the Stalag 8A after being captured by Germans. He found himself imprisoned with hundreds of other prisoners and met 3 fellow musicians among them, a violinist, a cellist, and a clarinetist. He began writing music for the 3. A guard named Brull gave the composer the pencils and manuscript paper with which to compose. And in these conditions, the first miracle occurred. Crushing circumstances allowed for a creation that could not have happened otherwise. His creation allowed for an escape into freedom. The title of his work, Quartet pour la fin du temps, comes from the book of Revelations. There will be no more time, but in the days when the 7th angel is to blow his trumpet, the most of God's will be fulfilled. It would be easy to cast the piece into an apocalyptic shadow, but Messiaen shed away from such thinking. He notes that to regard the revelation with eyes turned only to the darkness of the cataclysms and catastrophes it depicts is to disregard the solemnity and light at work within it, to see only the death that inevitably comes and not the resurrection that redeems it. On the night of its premiere, when it was performed before an audience of both captives and their captors, the tables of power were turned. In that moment, the Nazis were cast down, and the prisoners themselves were raised up and set free.